Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. In today's video I want to share my thoughts on a fragrance from KHADLAJ. Like I said in the previous video, this is a new brand that I am discovering lately, and in today's video I want to talk about Aura Kiss of Rose. That is their take on the DNA of Aron Juicy Apple 01 from Kayali. I have a sample of this fragrance from Kayali here, and I want to share my thoughts about this fragrance, let you know how it smells like, and also I want to compare it with the fragrance from KHADLAJ, and I want to let you know how similar are they in my opinion, or if they are similar. By the way, if you have tried any other fragrances from KHADLAJ and you have any recommendations, please put them down below. I do want to place an order in the near future on Dubai collection, and I want to get some decants to test more of their fragrances, because so far, honestly you guys, from what I've discovered, I've been very impressed. Now, first, let's start with this one from Kayali, the Aron Juicy Apple. Now look, I will be very honest, you guys. I like Kayali as a brand. I have my favorite fragrances from the brand, but I feel like this fragrance is highly overpriced in my opinion. Not that it smells bad. I feel like none of the fragrances from Kayali smell bad. That's not the problem when it comes to those fragrances in my opinion. But this gives me a similar vibe to a body spray, and to pay almost like for the biggest bottle more than 100 euros for a scent that represents or like resembles a body spray, I don't know. Maybe this is just the way I view this, because let's just say I'm not the biggest fan of this fragrance on me. I can say that I'm particularly fond of this kind of like fresh, fruity, aquatic kind of fragrances, even though of course I don't mind them on other people. But again, this is not the kind of fragrance that I would wear on myself, that I would wear on like a day-to-day basis. However, I will be objective in this video. So without further ado, let's begin. Here are the notes of the one from Kayali. Here are the notes of the one from KHADLAJ of Aura Kiss of Rose. Yeah, I keep mixing up the name with another fragrance, but was it also a fragrance called like Taste of Kiss or something like this? I don't know why. I think I'm mixing up the names. So yes, by the way, if you have tried any of these two fragrances, let me know what you think of. I can also let you know how this one smells like after it has like macerated, like developed even more, because let me show you the color of the vanilla one that I have, or on Deja Vu. Can you see? Yeah, I've had this discovery kit for a while in my collection now. So this one opens up with a burst of freshness. This smells like red apple to me. Imagine the smell of a freshly cut red apple, but make it very dewy, make it very aquatic, make it very fresh, make it slightly ozonic, slightly sweet as well, but with that crispness, you know, slightly sweet, slightly vanillic. But the overall consistency, even though it feels quite dense and quite full in the opening, but it's very light and bright and airy. The fragrance itself is not a heavy fragrance, you know. I feel like it's a fragrance that is supposed to exude this youthful aura. It's supposed to exude this like happy, uplifting energy, and it does, it really does. Also, it's very interesting because I feel like in the opening for a few seconds I detect almost the smell of like sugar, but like not like hard candy melted sugar. I don't know why it makes me think of sugar. Like imagine you take some sugar cubes and then you like put some water on them and then you smell them. I don't know why it gives me this vibe, but this is the vibe it gives me. Maybe it's the sugary accord mixed with the aquatic facets, that's those slight dewy facets of the green apple, I don't know. But yeah, and the softest, shyest woody facet in the background, but it's almost like you have this woody hint just to keep the fragrance compact in a sense, so it doesn't like fly off your skin, you know. This is how light and bright it is to me. Now look, the fragrance per se, it's beautiful if you have a taste for this kind of fragrances. Like I've mentioned, this is not the fragrance category or the fragrance genre that I gravitate to, but I wouldn't mind smelling it on someone else. However, like I've said in the beginning of the video, my problem with this fragrance is the price. Like look, I get the price for Vanilla Royale, I get the price for Invite Only Amber, I get the price for those kind of fragrances, I get the price for heavier fragrances, I get the price for Sweet Diamond Pink Pepper, I get the price for those. But when it comes to this one, this to me is definitely overpriced, you guys. And don't expect this fragrance to last like crazy, to project like crazy, you know. This, I feel like, keep in mind by how it was constructed, in a sense it's your lighter, brighter, airier, more ozonic, more aquatic kind of fragrance. So yeah, this smells like dewy apples, like like crisp, slightly sweet, slightly sour, dewy red apples with a big dose of something aquatic, something fresh, something ozonic, something slightly sweet. I feel like I do detect a little bit of something like a vanillic sweetness, but it's deep in the background behind all those like bright, aquatic, aerial light facets. So yes, and keep in mind the shyest trace, like a pinch of something woody there to give not even depth, because it doesn't bring depth, because it's dosed in a very lightweight, almost like a feather of something woody there, you know. Yeah. As the reference, as it develops, I feel like you lose the sugariness of the fragrance, but I actually enjoyed that sugary hint in the opening. So now let's see how this one from KHADLAJ smells like. It opens up with the same crisp, slightly aquatic, freshly cut red apple. So it's quite flavored, quite crisp, quite sweet and sour, but very light and bright and airy at the same time. Slightly dewy as well, but here the musk is much stronger. I do detect quite a hefty dose of musk here. The musk in the one from Kayali, I feel like it's a little bit more mellow, a little bit more subdued. But this fragrance, you guys, is actually stronger. Oh my god, I'm surprised to notice this. Yeah, this is definitely stronger. It packs a punch more than the one from Kayali. The one from Kayali is more muted, is more close to the skin, I feel like. Even though, look, if you were to apply, I don't know, maybe like 20 sprays of this one from Kayali, perhaps it's the kind of fragrance that like project, you know, but smelling it like 2-3 sprays applied now on my skin, just smelling it, it doesn't seem like the kind of fragrance that projects everywhere. Whereas this one, right from the start, it has more kick to it. It has more fullness, and it's slightly more potent as well. You guys, they managed to replicate the DNA very well, and it doesn't have anything screechy to my nose. And also, I will try to show you, maybe you will see, but do you see how oily that one from KHADLAJ is compared to the other one from Kayali? Yeah, this I feel like, look, I will tell you the similarities because they are very similar, and then I will tell you the slight differences that I can pick up. But I feel like, to sum up the video, if you are looking for something very similar to this one from Kayali, without any harsh notes, without any harsh facets, try this one. Try Aura Kiss of Rose from KHADLAJ. I don't think you will be disappointed. I don't think. But keep in mind, you need to appreciate this more like fruity, floral, girly, delicate, you know, like aquatics, fruity fragrances, those kind of fragrances. So this opens up just like the one from Kayali. You have the same burst of almost like a freshly cut red apple with the crisp element, with the bright element, with the light element as well, and you also have that very distinctive, like slightly sweet, slightly sour, crisp red apple feel. So you have this nuance in both of the fragrances. I feel like now in this one from KHADLAJ, you have a heavier dose of musk. The musk, imagine your crisp, clean white musk type of musk, but it's almost like it's behind the red apple, you know. So it's not first you get the crisp, clean white musk, then the apple. I feel like it's the other way around, whereas in this one from Kayali, the musk is not as pronounced, it's more muted, it's more delicate, it's more in the background. Now this one, as it develops, you do get a slight sweetness, and you do get a slight, almost somewhat of something sugary, but not fully sugary in a sense. But here, as I'm smelling this one from Kayali, the sugary element is already gone. So yeah, beautiful fragrance, you guys. It's a beautiful fragrance. Again, if you have the taste, if you have someone, let's just say a person very dear in your life, and you would like to gift her a fragrance, or someone very young as well, I think that person would really appreciate something like this. Definitely this is a safe blind buy. I don't think, like, even me, I don't have a taste for this kind of fragrances, but if I were to be gifted something like this or this fragrance, I would still wear it here and there, or like maybe on the hottest days of the summer, you know, after the shower, but usually during warm weather. But this one as a standalone, it's a beautiful fragrance, more than fair priced. I feel like the price of this fragrance is very affordable. I feel like it's 100 ml, if I'm not mistaken. At least this is what I remember. And of course, you can get like 2 ml, 5 ml, 10 ml decants if you're interested in trying out this fragrance. So yeah, very similar, very similar. And how to explain? This one from Kayali, as it starts to develop, it does change a little bit. It's not a linear fragrance, even though the changes are not like crazy changes, but it still changes. You lose the sugariness, you lose some of those aquatic facets, you lose some of the dewy nuances, you lose some of the crispness of the red apple, you know, and it starts to get slightly more sweet, slightly more powdery, slightly more musky. The slight woody facets start to shine a little bit more, but just again like a pinch more, like 2 pinches more than it did in the opening. Whereas this one, I feel like it stays, like the opening of the fragrance, it stays more put and it stays more stable in this sense. You get more of that apple with the mask and all the other nuances in the background. You guys, yeah, it legit, it smells so similar. Oh my god, so similar. And I feel like, in all honesty, I feel like I actually prefer the smell of this one. I mean, this one from KHADLAJ. Yeah, also slightly powdery, but how to say, when you smell it lightly, like when you get a whiff of the scent, or you just smell it like a little bit here, you get the apple, like the crisp red apple, everything that I told you so far. But when you like deeply inhale it, or like you smell it deeper, sorry, that's when you get the powdery musk in the background. But the powdery musk, again, soft, something very soft, nothing out of this world, nothing too much, you know. I feel like both of these fragrances are pretty balanced, you know, none lean too in any direction, you know. They are your typical like easy sell, easy purchase, easy blind buy, easy to gift to anyone. And again, I can see how some people will not like this, unless of course they don't like this kind of fragrances in general. So yes, oh my god, you guys, they are so similar. I cannot believe it, honestly. As this one starts to develop, it gets slightly even warm, but I feel like what it makes this one stand out is the fact that not only that is stronger, but also the red apple accord here, it's much more pronounced. You also get that almost like a dewy aquatic feel with a slight sugary hint. Yeah, it's very interesting how they managed to create such similar fragrances. So yes, now as a reference, I will insert here on the screen the performance for this fragrance. I have to test it a little bit more. In all honesty, I haven't done like a weird test for this fragrance, because again, I'm testing other fragrances at the moment, but I'm telling you, if you were looking for something similar to this one for a very affordable price, look no further, it's worth it. I approve it, you know, personally, to me, it is Loredana approved. So yeah. I don't know what else to tell you about this fragrance. Warm weather and warm weather only to me. Very well done, like objectively very well done, nothing screechy. I know lately I have received some feedbacks on certain fragrances from certain Middle Eastern brands that certain people are bothered by certain types of masks that they use. To me, here it's not screechy at all, you know. It doesn't like sting my nose, or I don't feel it too sharp, you know. It's quite smooth, it's quite pleasant, and yeah, I feel like they are the most similar in the opening, because then as this one from Kayali starts to develop, I told you it does change a little bit, but this one stays to me, at least to my nose, more like how Juicy as an Apple one smells like in the opening. And in the opening is my favorite part. After the opening, honestly, yeah, can't say that it does much for me personally, whereas this one actually stays more stable, more put, more robust of a scent, I feel like. So yes, thank you so much for watching. If you have tried this fragrance, let me know your thoughts on it. Also, I know there's another one from Latalfa, Badial Oud, the red one, I don't remember the name out of my mind at the moment. I haven't tried that fragrance, but yeah, I cannot compare it to these two fragrances. But if any of you have tried all these two fragrances, feel free to share your feedback on the fragrances down below. I'm sure people who are watching this video interested in purchasing this fragrance from KHADLAJ could really use your feedback on the fragrance, on this one from KHADLAJ, on the one from Latalfa as well. So yes, if you don't mind, please share your thoughts on the fragrances down below. So yes, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram. Here is my handle. If you want to tell me anything, please put it in the comment section, and I promise that I will get back to you. I will see you in my next video, but until then, thank you so much for watching, and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye guys.